Hamas, a terrorist organization, began this terrible war with its barbaric October 7th, 2023 attack on Israel. Clearly, Israel, as any other country that was so attacked, had the right to defend itself against Hamas.
We are 19 months into a genocide that Bernie Sanders refuses to recognize. Today he said this in the Senate. Bernie Sanders is not our savior. He is the Democrats' sheepdog trying to corral us back into the party. So we say to ourselves, you know, there are actually some decent Democrats we can stand behind. There isn't. Bernie Sanders is a Zionist scumbag. It is not a war. It is a genocide through and through. The state of Israel is what is wrong with Israel, because Zionism is at its foundation, which requires the ethnic cleansing and denial of rights from the Palestinian people for the state of Israel to maintain its legitimacy. Because if they were to permit Palestinians their rights back, they would have to allow hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Palestinians to return to their homes still standing in Israel, to return to their homelands. They can't do that because they want to be an ethno-state for Jewish Zionists. States do not have a right to exist. People have a right to exist. And right now, the state of Israel, the system of Israel, is denying the right of the Palestinian people to exist. Bernie Sanders is what we call a liberal Zionist. He is by no means a pro-Palestinian individual. You will notice that he calls it a war, not a genocide. He criticizes Netanyahu's government, and not the state of Israel, which is where all these problems are rooted in. He simply wants to tell you that the problem is just with Netanyahu. If we get rid of him, everything will be fine. That is just not true. The only good thing I can appreciate Bernie Sanders for on this is that he is the only one to really push these bills in the Senate that will always fail to halt arms sales and deliveries to Israel to fuel this genocide. But I cannot respect a Zionist. And if you think that clip was like a mild, you shouldn't really be that mad, look up other clips of him speaking to pro-Palestinian people in his rallies or demonstrators, and what else he said about the state of Israel. He's actually voted in favor of Israel's right to defend itself, of Israel's sovereignty, of Israel's attacks on Palestinians, including voting for arms to Israel. It is not a good track record, and the sheepdog theory makes a lot of sense when we understand that what he's selling to Democrats, to liberals, is a watered-down version of being pro-Palestinian. It is not actually being pro-Palestinian. It is just the co-opted way to allow for Israel's existence ideologically, which is a falsehood, because the state of Israel is an oppressive system that must be dismantled because it is so deeply rooted in these forms of oppression, which of course is all rooted in Zionism. All of these problems arise because of Zionism. The Palestinian resistance to Israel, October 7th, Hamas, they would not exist. They would not need to exist, because Israel's oppression against their people wouldn't have sparked them to come into existence. And I want to end with a reminder that the violence that we see in reaction, in response to systems of oppression, is on the fault of the oppressors who set the standard of violence. The systems they lay onto other people is what create and foment this violence in return to resist these systems. Please share this message, share, so more people see this. And if you would like to support the continuation of my work as I attend college, I just moved into my first apartment, and I rely on you guys' support. Thank you, and free Palestine.